Hey everybody, my name is Justin. I'm a first year electrical apprentice, and this is my tool loadout on the Mini Niko X. I just got the Mini Niko X, the Eagle X, from Diamondback and the Diamondback Tempo, and I've only had it since Wednesday night. It's Friday night now, so I've used it Thursday and today Friday, and it's pretty awesome. The tool loadout that I had before was very minimum, and I could only fit, very few tools in the tool pouch that I had. I had a $20 Klein tool pouch. It had 9 pockets, so I was only able to fit about 9 tools in it, and I usually only carried about 7 tools in it, so I was a minimalist. And the Mini Niko X is very good and very nice. It's a very sturdy feeling, very rugged. I like this new material that they've given. I got the Hammer Holster X, which has this nifty little cat's paw, and I keep my wire strippers there, the Ideals. These things are great. Yeah, you can tell they've got some use in them. I've had them for a while. This is the one pair that I haven't blown up. So yeah, I just normally used to carry strippers and some diagonal cutters in 11-in-1 if I wasn't wearing my tool pouch. So I got used to putting it in my pocket on my pants. And this right here is exactly where I would put them. It sits like exactly where the pocket of my pants is. So it's really perfect because it's an unconscious thing that I do where I go put this in that exact spot all the time. The only drawback with this holster is that it isn't necessarily as easy to pull this hammer in and out of because of the rubber handle. For whatever reason, the way I got it angled and everything else, and it's just really easy right now, but there's some times where this material just like grabs the rubber and doesn't want to let it out. I don't know why or what it is, but it's all right. It's better than what I had going on. So in this little pocket, I keep a pencil, marker, non-contact voltage detector. On this little spot right here, this webbing is extremely rugged and rigid, so like that little flex is coming from a decent amount of pressure. It's not flimsy whatsoever. I got this Craft flick blade. I don't really care what the utility knife is. I just like the flick blade motion. So I liked this and the colors and the size. It reminded me of the Tough Built that I had. So I've been running it because my Tough Built broke. I got some glow-in-the-dark diagonal cutters. These were not glow-in-the-dark. I took the glow-in-the-dark handles off of a pair that I blew up with hot water. I just dipped them in it, ripped them off, dipped my blue handled ones in, ripped them off, and switched out the handles. So as you can see, the pockets are decent sized. These are some glow-in-the-dark lineman's pliers, heavy duty, cut ACSR with them. Some crimps. We've been doing a rough-in, so we use splice caps on all of our grounds, and these Klein crimps are just awesome. And then Klein 6-inch level. These 4 magnets are great. I love just messing with it, putting it on random things. And then, my flathead screwdrivers. I used to run the Klein 7-inch demolition screwdriver, but the handle, when you put a lot of force on it, the handle would, you know, like slip off of it, or the grip would slip off of the handle, and that annoyed me so much. I found this. I thought it looked cool. I bought it. I love it. I liked it so much that I went with their 13-in-1, excuse me, I just burped, Milwaukee electrician's screwdriver. I don't know if that's really what it is. I just call it the electrician screwdriver because it has these ECX bits in it instead of the hex bits like the Kleins do. So yeah, this is one of my go-to screwdrivers. I use it all the time. Like I said, I've been roughing in with this, so it's gotten a little dirty, gotten some use. It's been a lot of you know, awesome stuff going on. These pockets right here, you know, you gotta push your screwdrivers down into them, and then they're nice and snug. So I love the pass-through pockets, but the thing is, with having longer shafts, you press up on something and then it just pushes it out of the pocket, but it's really not a big deal. So this right here isn't the tape clip that is advertised for Diamondback. This is actually a Vito Pro Pack tape clip that I'm using. This right here is the Diamondback tape clip, but there is a drawback to this Diamondback tape clip, because if I take this off, I go to put it on, it won't fit. And this is a Super 35 Scotch tape. You know, it's pretty common tape in Home Depot and Lowe's and at electrical supply places. So this is something that a lot of people do, that a lot of people use. So the fact that it won't fit on the actual tape clip or tape loop is kind of a drawback. But if you use some of the cheaper stuff, you know, some of the cheaper stuff is it has a bigger, wider hole, and it'll fit over top of this. Unfortunately, I don't use the cheaper stuff. This is just what I commonly use, is the Super 35. So that's kind of a drawback for me, because it's kind of unfortunate, because as you can tell, this tape clip, this tape loop is actually a little bit longer than the Vito Pro Packs. So you could fit the tape on there a little bit better, or a little roomier, if it just had a smaller, whatever the heck that is. So yeah, this Diamondback clip, it works really well. I'm glad that I had an extra one of them. I was actually really upset about it because I ordered this and I didn't get it on time like I was hoping for. I paid the $50 in shipping for it. Didn't get it, you know, 4 days later like I was supposed to. I had to wait like 2.5 weeks, and then I thought they took this off of my order, and I was kind of upset about it. And then I got my bag and I wound up having the tape clip, and then I was like, oh yes, I got the tape clip, and then the tape clip was kind of not the best. I mean, it would probably be awesome for the cheaper tape, but not for the slightly better tape. So this pocket right here is nice and roomy. You could fit a lot in there. I could fit these in there like that if I wanted to. It's just these specifically how they have this shape right here, it kind of makes it a little harder to get it in and out. And since it's a smaller, this is the smallest pocket right here, I just throw them down in like that, and it fits nicely. So I could fit other tools in here. Oops, bumped my camera stand. But as far as how I'm working, it feels a lot better just to reach in and grab this level or whatever with having the more space. And you know, it's kind of nice to have the space for if you want it, if you need it, whatever the case. I got T15, T25, T30, number 2 square, number 2 Phillips, and a 2-inch Malco flip bit. Looking in the camera for the first time like this while trying to do this, it's weird. Now I don't understand what people mean when they say this type of stuff. So yeah, this is a great pouch. I think it's worth the money, hands down. It's a lot more room. It's a lot sturdier. It's made of better material than what the pouch that I had was. So now I'm able to, like, I was able to fit these 3 screwdrivers, my diagonal cutters and linemans, and my strippers and my level in, and you know, 2 extra tools if I needed them. So now it's nice to be able to fit my non-contact voltage detector, marker, pencil, knife, all in this spot. Have my hammer right here. Have all these extra bits for when I randomly need them. Because I really don't need these bits, these 2-inch bits all the time. But when I do need them, I like having them. I usually keep them in my bag. So it's nice that I have a spot where I can just keep them all the time. I have another Malco bit. I'm gonna shift some things so I can move my bag over, my belt over, and show you the Eagle X pouch. This thing is awesome. Before I had the Joey pouch on a Wolf tool belt, and being able to upgrade to my non-dominant pouch, having so much more storage and capacity and can do so much more, is really awesome. So I had one of those tape clips where you just like put the tape on right there next to my Joey pouch, and I liked having this on my left side. And the biggest thing for me is, you know, is my 25-foot magnetic Klein gonna fit in this? So what's cool about this is not only will it fit, but I can put my stubby down in there, put my tape measure down in there, and it fits just fine. And it's cool because it has this webbing right here. So if you don't want your tape to accidentally fall out because you're taking your belt off or whatever, you can just put the clip on there and it actually holds it really, really well. Like, it's not gonna fall out. So it's really nice. And it's advertised to fit a 35-foot Fat Max. My 25-foot magnetic Klein fits in there very well, you know, without my stubby. But I want to carry a stubby. I finally have room for one, so I'm gonna do it. And you know, this is this slot right here that I have all these screwdrivers, this 7-inch slim tip insulated Klein, slim tip insulated number 2 Klein. You know, these Milwaukee's right here, 1/4 inches. You can see the name and the, you know, the symbols and numbers and everything. This is a number 2 ECX. So these 3 screwdrivers I love to use in the panels, and I would always switch out the 3 screwdrivers that I had on my on my dominant pouch for these when I'd work in a panel. So I always ran to my backpack to switch out tools and stuff like that depending on the task. So it's nice to be able to carry everything I want. Now, carrying everything I want and normally use and like to have on me makes this a lot weightier. So I've gone from a 13-pound pouch to a 20.8-pound pouch or tool belt, which is it's okay. You know, like you know, when you're building a new service, you need your Allens. Well, I never really had room for my Allens. These always just went in my back pocket, or if I had, you know, a pass-through slot or room in my joy pouch, which I never had room in. So these usually wound up in my back pocket, so it's really nice to finally be able to carry my Allens on me and have them all the time, you know. And then I like to use this mostly just to push wires back, you know. If you're doing a finish and you have a lot of outlets and a lot of switch boxes to do, it's just nice sometimes to have this and push all the wires back if there's a lot of them or a bunch of numbered 12s. It just makes the workload a little easier. You know, sometimes we have service calls, we got to cut stuff in. I had nowhere that I could put this besides in my back pocket. So this right here is these two pockets. They look like they're about the same size. This middle third pocket is the biggest. So you could put this here if you wanted to. But I never had room for this. It's nice that I have room for it now, and I don't have to run to my bag whenever I need it. You know, when you're building a service, you have your acorns that you got to put on to your ground wire and to your, not ground bars, ground rods. So yeah, it's nice to be able to carry these on me. I have 2 of these plus some smaller ones. So I got some medium dogs, some baby dogs. Don't have any big dogs yet. Well, actually I do. I have a 16-inch pair of crescents, but those can't go in the pouch. You know, and on my joy pouch, it has little webbing that's flexible, and it's really not good because I would keep these things in the webbing. You know, I'd keep my marker, my pencil, my non-contact voltage detector in the webbing, and now I have dedicated spots for them that don't suck, and that's awesome. You know, I always kept my Buchanans, my splice caps, and ground screws in a little baggie, and I have a spot I can put those. You know, I kept these in my Joey pouch all the time. I got my GFCI tester, you know, left glove, because my left pouch has, you know, screws and staples for number 6, your most common staples for number 12 and number 14, you know, black bushings. I use this headlamp so often, and I always had to go to my bag to go get it. You know, I have a spot for wire nuts. Now this pouch right here, it's advertised for using a speed square. I have I think this is a 7-inch right here. It fits beautifully, just beautifully. Now, not all electricians believe in using something like this. It's an icky tool to an electrician if you, you know, just really don't care or have pride in your work or want to eyeball stuff or whatever. I don't know. I like to use it sometimes. I think it's great. I also eyeball stuff sometimes too. Yeah. So I guess this just fall out. Oh, so yeah. With a little bit of force, it actually will fall out. Wow. Yeah. Multi-stubby from Klein. This thing has helped me in a pinch a few times, that's for sure. At least enough to make it worth whatever it costed to buy it. And then Diamondback comes with all kinds of accessories. This is just the little magnet clip. It's pretty hard to take off. As you can tell, it's got a nice metal clip. I had some a clip for my tape and a clip for my a clip-on hammer holster, and the clip for the hammer holster was made out of plastic, and it literally broke this week just before I got this. And I've been roughing in the last 2 weeks a few different places, so to have the hammer holster break when you need it is you know, it's a letdown. So yeah, this thing, it's awesome. I love to put bits on there. If you're taking off face plates, throw the screws on it, whatever, you know. So I had a magnet before, and it was just a cheap clip-on magnet, and this is not, there we go. It's not as easy as they make it look in the videos, but once it's on there, it's on there. So all these little webbing spots, you can fit things and accessories in, whatever you want, anything with a clip. So I carry this Milwaukee impact gun, high output 5 amp hour battery. This battery will usually last me like 2 to 3 weeks, and I use this thing every day. I just charged it recently. I love the lights. So I've been learning to get used to this setup the last couple days, and this is where I keep it while I'm working, and it stays put there pretty well. So it works. These little spots work really well. This webbing is heavy duty. Everything about this belt is heavy duty. So I'm gonna come along over here. This webbing is made to not sag, and I feel like this demonstrates that it does that very well. This is a 16-ounce hammer. So from what I've been experiencing, these do not sag whatsoever. Everything is heavy duty, very well built. And now I'm just gonna show you this part. So personally, I took out the lumbar support and the other thingies. They go in here. You know, it's literally so rigid, you know, so stable, gives you so much support that I don't even think I need it. You know, this is some thick stuff right here. And it gives me, you know, I'm pressing down on it and it just feels really good. It's really great. It's wonderful. These this part of the belt and the center, or right here, this stuff, the padding in here feels really good. You know, it doesn't really feel like there's much padding right here, but this stuff's supposed to keep it from sliding down, and it actually does a pretty decent job at that. This padding is really good, really nice. So I'm not paid by Diamondback. I'm just a guy who wanted to make, you know, a cool pouch, have a cool pouch, and not necessarily have a cool pouch, but have something that, you know, makes things more efficient for me, makes things easier for me. Something that's more comfortable than a $25 tool belt that's not very well built. And another thing I want to mention is this Eagle pouch. I don't know what it is, if it has some kind of cushioning back here or what, but I really like it. It feels really good. I know that's a little weird, but this material is really nice. You can also clip stuff onto it. That's what it's made for. So one thing is, if you like the side-by-side pouches, they make mini sacks. So this right here, you could put a couple mini sacks on here, and then you could have all of your fasteners in one belt and one pocket, and all of your 632s and 832s in another one. So you could have, you know, your tap cons and your metal screws and your machine screws and other things in here, your drywall screws, and you don't have to try to put them all in a little pouch like this, you know. And then you could keep your staples in one spot, your other things, you know, in here. You might not use these as often, you know, your wire nuts. You're going to use wire nuts if you're an electrician, most likely, unless you like the Wagoos or Wagoos or whatever they're called, and that's all you use. And then in that case, that's cool for you. You can do what you do. You can do you. Just don't burn my house down. LOL. But yeah, I love this pouch. It's awesome. I'm gonna load everything up. Give you a little bit more of a review on it. Let you see how it fits. And yeah, so it's a really good belt. This is my bag. It's been with me for a while, and the first journeyman that I worked with, he wouldn't let me wear a tool belt very often, so I bought a tool bag, and I bought a Klein tool bag at first, and it was okay. It just wasn't what I wanted, so I got a Vito Pro Pack and some Knipex tools and duplicates of tools, and yeah, tools. This thing is awesome though. A little bonus content. So I can keep my tin snips in there, my multimeter, tone and probe, you know, little ratchet, extra bits, more extra bits, you know, extra markers, extra things, uglies, book, some tape. You know, I can keep a lot of stuff in here. My tin snips, extra screwdrivers. You know, I got this because when I first started doing electrical work, we were doing some 3-inch rigid, and so I would use this to deburr the rigid when I'd cut it with the bandsaw. But then we got this rigid pipe cutter that would cut it, ream it, and thread it. It was super awesome. But the process was not easy to learn how to use the machinery because it was really old and it didn't want to work the way it was supposed to. So you had to find the right speed. But, you know, never mind. That's some different stuff for a different time. So yeah, these little pockets are great. People always say you can't use them for anything. Personally, I disagree. I personally like them. I think they're awesome. You can put, you know, spare tools, extra things in there, extra bits, pencils, markers. These are really good for pencils. But you could put a screwdriver in there. But yeah, that's not the main point. I have some stickers. I can do all things through Christ. The Lord is my strength and my defense. All the other Christian stickers that I had on here were peeling off, so I just took them off. These were the only two that lasted almost a year, so I kept them. And to be fair, it's really all I need or want on there because it's the truth. The Lord protects me, and he gives me the strength to do all kinds of things on a regular basis. There's all kinds of things. If I didn't have Jesus, I'm not even sure how I would get through the day or accomplish the task that I'm being asked to accomplish. Because as an apprentice, you get asked to do all kinds of things that you have no clue what you're doing. And somehow I just always figure this stuff out. I like to think it's all thanks to the Lord. So I give the glory to Jesus. He's blessed me, made it possible for me to be at this point where I can have this, you know, these nice things. And I didn't always have nice things. And I used a cheap tool pouch for a long time. And it worked until it didn't work anymore. So the biggest drawback to the tool pouch that I was running before that made me want to, you know, look for something else was the fact that I had to cross over my body all the time, the way it was set up. Because the way I originally had it set up was my left side had my Klein tool pouch, and my right side actually had a tough built drill holster pouch. So I ran it like that, and I got tired of the crossing over. So I switched over to my Joey pouch, which I had originally just mostly gotten for doing work in attics and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's what started it. Was it wasn't, it was just, it's not that it wasn't doable, it just was it's annoying. You know, you're up on a ladder 10 feet up in the air, and then you have to cross over your body to do something, and it's not good. And some people would argue it's not even safe either, because you don't want to be crossing your body when you have amperage going through you or whatever, you know. So yeah, I'll put the pouch on and you can see how that works.